How's it going, everybody? Today, we're going to be rating every single jailbreak vehicle in a tier list. As you can see, I've got 7 different tiers here. I have amazing, great, good, mid, mediocre, bad, and garbage. And I got a couple people that will be helping me. Silent, Polarization, if he's here with us right now. Harold might come join us later. And yeah, I'm probably going to keep it limited to these couple of folks because I really don't want this live stream to get too long. Um, but yeah, that's about it. And by the way, big shout out to Harold for making this tier list. He got everything sorted out in alphabetical order. So, thanks. Who's going to tell him mid is the same as mediocre? Yeah, I was thinking that, but um, I was thinking mid is like 5 out of 10, while mediocre is a 4 out of 10. Like, if something's mid, I think it's like not that good, but not that bad. But if something's mediocre, it's leaning on the side of bad, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of why I have both of them here. But I could change mid to just okay, but they're basically the same thing in my opinion. All right. Silent, are you talking or not? Because like I saw your Discord thing light up, and
Oh, it might just be background audio. No, I'm not talking.
okay, gotcha. All right. Well, it is time to get started. First, we're gonna kick things off with the ATV, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in garbage. It is one of the worst vehicles in Jailbreak. I feel really sad doing this because it was one of the first vehicles I ever bought. I had a lot of fun memories using it, but unfortunately, it really hasn't aged well. It's pretty bad when it comes to stats. It's not worth the price. It only seats one person. Um, I'm surprised it's even available in the game. I thought it would have been retired by now. But yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's really forgotten. Like, it's garbage. It's one of the worst vehicles.
yeah, I would love if it got revamped a little bit. Alright, next we have the Agent. I think this is a pretty good vehicle. I enjoy using it. I don't use it that much, but I think it looks really good. It's fun to drive every now and then, and the stats are pretty good for what it's supposed to be. But I think I can only really put it in good because I don't use it that much, basically.
I wish the missiles had the heat-seeking system. I think that could make it like much better and more usable. But yeah, I think it's just kind of good because the missiles aren't. They don't really work.
Yeah, hopefully they uh fix hopefully they make the missiles on it more accurate, though I doubt that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, probably not because it's a retired vehicle.
After that we have the Airtail. This is a pretty good team vehicle in my opinion. I used to use it a lot, but now I don't use it that much. I prefer the concept car, but on its own merits, I think it's a good vehicle. It looks nice. I think either good or great. What do you think, Silent?
I think. How much was it? It was like 600K, right?
Yeah. It was
I think I'd
basically the
put it in.
Molten, but with 3 seats.
I think I'd put it in gray. It's a pretty good vehicle. It's a little bit more expensive than the Chiron. I think it's better because it could seat more people, I guess.
Uh-huh.
It has good acceleration. I'd say great. I'd say put it
Yeah,
in
the
great.
chat's also saying great. I think we'll go with great for this one. Alright, next we have the Ambulance. I think this is a pretty mediocre vehicle. It's not really worth the money in my opinion. It's a much better option to buy the force field launcher. Um, really, this vehicle has a pretty unique gimmick, but it's not that efficient to use, especially when you're in a robbery. But it's not bad. It's not the worst. It got a recent buff, so I think I'll put it in mediocre.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the chat doesn't seem to like the ambulance that much. It's not the worst, but all right.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Next we got the Arachnid, aka the Batmobile, and I might disagree with you guys might disagree with me here, but I think this is an amazing vehicle. I've always absolutely loved it because I'm a big fan of the Batman movies, the Dark Knight trilogy, and I find it really cool to drive this vehicle around in the game. It looks very similar to it does a great job of like capturing the spirit of the Tumbler while also making sure it's different enough to, avoid copyright. Um, I think the stats are also pretty good as well. I like the acceleration. It's fun to drive, and since it has the overdrive feature now, it actually can reach a pretty good top speed. So I think I gotta put it in amazing.
I agree. It's I don't know. I just like everything about it, and for the model itself, for how old it is, it's not a bad model. So
Yeah, it's one of my favorite of the original models. What's up, Puga?
same.
Nice to see you here. All right, next we have the Badger. I'm gonna say this is okay. It's good enough for what it's meant to be, an escape vehicle from the museum, but other than that, I don't use it at all. I would say
Yeah,
it's
same.
fine enough at its job.
Hmm.
All right, next is the Banana Car. I think this is a pretty fun vehicle. It's very unique. It's fun to drive, especially since it's more slippery, um, which is very fitting. I think I'll put it in great as well. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's one of the better seasonal vehicles too.
Yeah,
So
I've come around on this one a lot. I used to dislike it, but now I think it's pretty good.
agreed.
All right, after that, the Bandit. And you can go first with this one.
It's I would put it in probably like I'd probably like okay. It's not the greatest. The stats are kind of like mediocre, especially for like a grand prize, like a seasonal vehicle. The model is good. I like the looks of the vehicle, but I don't know. There's nothing really special about it. I think it's just like okay, I guess. It's good for what it is.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. I would say maybe good because it's not the worst. It looks pretty nice. It's it's one of the few muscle cars we have, so I do appreciate the novelty of that. And of course, it does have
Yeah.
3 seats, so I would say good, but I don't use it very much.
Oh yeah, it does have 3 seats. Yeah, probably good then. It's kind of hard because like good makes me think it's like a vehicle I'd use, and then okay is kind of like a big
Uh-huh.
difference. I don't know. So I'd say yeah, maybe good.
Okay, next we have the Beam Hybrid. What do you think of this one?
Um, I actually haven't used it in a while, so I don't exactly remember how it performs, but I think the stats are okay from what I remember. I think it like how fast does it go?
I don't remember. I think it's like 160. Um, but
Oh,
it's not amazing.
yeah, it's probably. I mean, it's a good vehicle, like in terms of looks. But if it only goes 160, then I guess it's probably like okay-ish. Because like if you're also countering the fact that like this vehicle was extremely hard to get because it was
Uh-huh.
season one, which with a really difficult contract system at the time. So
Okay, people are saying it goes 190. That's pretty good. I've
okay. Oh, you go.
I used to really like this vehicle. I've kind of, I guess, soured on it a little bit. I think it's one of the best looking cars, but stats wise, it's not that great, and I haven't used it that much. But I think I got to put it in good because like I like it more than the Bandit. Um, so yeah,
Agreed.
think it would fit there. After that, we have the Bugatti Bolide. I'm surprised we're already there, though, since this is alphabetical, I guess that makes sense. I'm gonna put this in amazing. It's one of the best vehicles in Jailbreak, in my opinion. It balances everything super well. It looks beautiful. It has an amazing top speed, which you can actually reach pretty quickly. Like it's not like the some certain cars where the top speed you're never gonna reach 99% of the time, and has great acceleration as well. Um, and yeah, that's basically it when it comes to this vehicle. Not much else to say about it.
Hmm.
All right, after that we have the Blackhawk. That one goes in amazing as well. It's my favorite vehicle in the whole game. Um, it like once you buy this vehicle, you've basically beaten the game. It becomes so much easier. It's the ultimate team vehicle. It looks really good. It has great stats as well, and I prefer it over the drone because you can actually rob the cargo ship with it. Um, it's one of the most used vehicles in Jailbreak for a reason. So yeah, I think it fits in amazing.
Agreed.
All right, after that we have the Bloxy. What do you think of this one?
Um, it's okay. Once again, it's like on the lower side for like stats in terms of a seasonal vehicle, and there's not much to say about it. It's like okay-ish, but it's pretty good at the same time because it got like a handling buff if I remember back a while ago.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Some guy said handling's very good, so I guess it did.
Yeah, I'd say either okay or maybe like low good. I'm not really sure.
I would here, hold up. I think I'll change okay back to mid actually. I don't know. I really
Yeah,
want to have mid as a tier, and it's perfectly in the middle as well. Like it's just too perfect.
yeah. Like when I think of okay, I think of like kind of like meh. But like mid is kind of like it's a 50-50.
Yeah. I actually like the Bloxy a decent bit. Like I mentioned before, I'm a big fan of Lego, so I like having a Lego car in the game. And I think the stats are pretty good as well. I definitely like it more than the Bandit. I probably like it more than the Beam, so I gotta put it in good.
All right, that's fair. That's fair enough.
Okay, after that we have the Boxer, and I'm thinking it's mid as well because it's good for the museum, but other than that, like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it.
Next up we have the Brulee, and I'll let you go first on this one, because
All right. Um, I would put it in a lot of people. I know a lot of people would say amazing. I'd probably say like maybe good because it doesn't have that good of an acceleration,
Yeah,
if I remember. And I don't know, the car is just really ugly. It's not. Is it good at off-roading? I don't know if it's good at off-roading, but I would say good because acceleration's not the greatest. It has a good top speed, but you don't really get there often. So I would
I'm
say good.
thinking I'm thinking good or even mid. I don't know. I'm I find this to be like probably the most overrated vehicle in Jailbreak because of everything you just said. Like the acceleration is not very good at all. Recently got a nerf which made it even worse, I think. Um
Yeah. I don't think the handlings on it is that good either.
yeah, and it looks really, really outdated. It's like I don't know, I just don't like looking at it. It really doesn't do the IRL version justice.
Yeah.
Um I think for now I'll put it in mid or good because I can't deny it. It's the top speed is still great, and when it was around, it was definitely a really good vehicle to use. But
Yeah. I would say put it in good for now because of the top speed, but maybe we'll move it down to mid later.
yeah, I'll put it above Bandit, but I actually like the Beam and the Bloxy more than that.
Yeah, me too.
Next, we have the Camaro. This is a tough one to place because it's the most iconic vehicle in Jailbreak. It's the most used. It's like I don't know. It feels like it would be a disservice to put it down in like garbage or something. It's a free car,
Hmm,
so like for it's kind of hard to compare to other vehicles as well. Um,
that is true.
hmm,
I
I think
mean,
people are saying amazing.
deserves its own category, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll put that there. Add a row above. There we go. All right, there you guys go. We'll put it at the very top. It's peak Jailbreak. Yeah, it's not really one I think you can compare against the others. Like, I don't think I've ever done a ranking with the Camaro in it. It would be pretty tough.
Yeah.
All right, next we have the camper van, and I think this is a bad vehicle, unfortunately. For the price, the stats just aren't very good. I like the look about it, but that's pretty much it. Yes, it can seat 6 people, but there are other vehicles you can get, like the Cybertruck, which are much better. Um, and I put it on my top 10 worst vehicles video, so naturally I don't like it that much. But yeah, what do you
Hmm.
think?
Yeah, it's not that good. And it also spawns like near the tomb, and like I don't know, nobody's gonna like
Yeah, nobody's
go
gonna
there
go there
to
and get it.
yeah.
Maybe they should move the spawn next to the like Crater City desert, like the house in the Crater City desert. But I don't know, I don't that would probably make it even less used.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right, next up is the Celestial, aka the Rolls Royce. Um, I think this is I don't know, because you have to
I don't
pay
know
Robux
either.
for it as well, so that kind of.
Yeah. I don't I don't think I've ever used it. Maybe like once, but
I use it sometimes, like when I die and I can't spawn a vehicle yet, so I just pick this instead of the Camaro.
yeah, that's true.
I think I'll put it in
Uh,
mid. It's pretty good. Like I remember back in the day, I had some fun with it when they first added it, and it had the minigun. My friends and I would just drive around with it, and we we tried to shoot people with the minigun, but often it wouldn't work. So
yeah.
I have a soft spot for it, but it costs Robux. Someone says mediocre because of Robux. Actually, you might be right with that. Yeah, maybe I should put it in mediocre. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put it in
Um
mediocre because of the Robux and because the stats aren't that good.
yeah, that makes sense.
Oh boy, next we have the Celsior. I quite like this vehicle. I know it had some controversy when it was first added. Uh, a lot of it wasn't related to the stats though. I think I think maybe I'll put it in either high good or bottom great because it's a spawnable
Yeah.
flying vehicle. It seats 4 people. In my opinion, it looks pretty good. I like the futuristic vibe. Um, like, uh, yeah, I think it's pretty good. People are saying great. Yeah, maybe I should put in great. What do you think?
It depends because like it's really good if you have the mobile garage, but if you don't, it's kind of like you would probably prefer the drone over it or something. So
Well, now that
I don't know.
well, can you spawn it now? Because remember they did an update where if you like you can spawn any vehicle that costs less than 100K.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, if you can spawn it, it's probably like great or amazing. But
Chat, let me know. Because obviously I'm not able to test this. If you don't have the mobile garage, but you have the Celsior, are you able to spawn it or no? Yes, because it's limited. All right, I'm thinking no. Someone says no.
hmm,
I'll put it in the bottom of great for now. I think I'll
yeah,
keep it there.
that's pretty fair. Yeah.
All right, next we have the Challenger. Um, I think this is also a really good vehicle. It's like one of the quintessential starter vehicles in Jailbreak. It has a great spawn location. For the price, it has excellent stats. I think it belongs in great. I think the main thing holding it down though is probably the looks. Like it's starting to show its age, especially since it's been 3 years. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good for its price. It's like I think it used to be really good, but it got a nerf. But even after the nerf, it's still pretty good as a vehicle.
okay,
I
next we
would
have
say.
the classic car. I think it belongs in mid along with the other museum escape cars for the exact same reason. Because when it was around, it was a good escape vehicle, but otherwise there was no point to use it, basically.
Hmm.
After that, we have the concept car. I'm just gonna put this in amazing. It's great. It seats 4 people. Excellent stats. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right, next up, the crew capsule. This is a bit of a tough one to place. Um, I actually like that it's like I remember when they first added the Celsior, I was worried that the crew capsule would become obsolete in a comparison. But I'm glad that like it has its own benefits compared to the Celsior and its own drawbacks. Like it's smaller, much harder to shoot down. Um, but obviously it's a bit
Yeah.
slower.
Yeah, and it's I would say maybe mid or good. Maybe good. I do sometimes use it. It's not bad.
I think yeah, good is a good choice.
Yeah.
All right, after that we have the Crown. I really like this vehicle. Unfortunately, it's not one I use that much though, because it doesn't have a great spawn location. I mean, actually, never mind. The spawn location is appropriate for what this vehicle is, but it's just so far out of my way that I'm never really gonna go there to get it. It's a pretty
Yeah.
cool like vehicle to own, but it's not one I use very much.
Yeah.
People are saying good, mid. I think this is a good vehicle though. Like I prefer it over the Bandit and the Veyron. So I think I'll put it in good.
Yeah. I would also put it there.
Okay, after that we have the Cruiser. I'll let you go first with this one.
Um, it's pretty bad compared to like the jet ski. Like, there's no point using the cruiser over the jet ski. And they also made it even worse by moving the spawn location from like the
Exactly.
prison island to the. I don't even know where it spawns. I think it spawns like the power plant. I would say it's either. I'd say it's garbage
Bro,
or
how
maybe
much money
bad.
could you even get with using this to rob the power plant?
Probably like nothing because I don't even know it. I don't know. I think the only good thing about it is it can go fast depending on your FPS, but like
Uh-huh.
that doesn't really matter. So I'd say
All
it's
right.
garbage.
Glad everybody agrees. We're putting it in garbage. Next up, the Cybertruck. Um, I I can't remember the last time I used this vehicle, to be honest. From the last
Same.
time I remember using it, I remember thinking it's pretty good. It used to be really popular back in the day, but I feel like I don't see it used that much anymore. Um,
Mhm.
People are saying good. It's a pretty good vehicle. Yeah, for the price, I think it's decent, especially because it seats 6 people and it has good stats to go along with it. I think I'll put it in good.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, after that we have the Deja. It's a pretty fun vehicle in my opinion. I like how easy it is to like drift around with it. But besides that, obviously by the time they added the Deja, I was already a pretty good player, so I didn't need to use it. Um, I'm thinking
Yeah.
I'm thinking mid for this one. It's a it's a fun car, but it's not one to use frequently.
Yeah, I agree. Like I sometimes use it just for fun, but like other than that, I don't ever use it.
Some people are saying it's slower than the Camaro. Well, I think it got buffed recently though, right? Like it has the overdrive. I think it has overdrive now.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
I think it's better. Um
Yeah, it's probably just mid.
yeah, I'll keep it in mid for now. I might move it down depending on what the chat says. Next up is the DeLorean. Hot take, I think this vehicle's pretty mediocre. Actually, maybe I'll put it in mid because they added overdrive to it as well. Um, the biggest reason why this vehicle sucks is because my legs stick out of the bottom. But
Yeah,
otherwise, like, I know it's a decent escape vehicle, but I've never really used it. And Cybertruck, I think, is a better escape vehicle from the power plant.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in mid. All right,
Yeah, I would also put it there.
next we have the Desert Crawler. I really like this one. I think it has great stats for the price. It also has overdrive, which is really good. There's only one problem though. My legs stick out of the bottom. So for that, I'd probably have to knock it down from amazing to great.
Yeah, it's a pretty good vehicle for its price. Like it seats two people. When does it hit overdrive?
I'm not sure, probably like 150 or something. I'll look it up. Um,
Yeah, I'd probably say great because it's actually a really good vehicle for its price.
all right, next is the dirt bike. I'm gonna put this in garbage. It's really slow. It's weird to drive. Please, devs, give us a bike revamp someday. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is the drone. I think I'll put it in great. It's a really possibly amazing. I'm not sure because the stats are excellent. I just really don't like the look of it. The looks like I don't like the body shaping. I don't like how the propellers are seemingly stuck on random places. Um,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have a rope, so I can't rob the cargo ship with it. But other than that, it's a great vehicle. Like I think it's obviously really hard to shoot down. Um, there's a reason it's so frequently used.
Yeah. Is the blade in this ranking or no?
Oh, dude, I was trying to remember to include the blade in the OG Volt. I'll still go ahead
Uh
and include them, but
all
yeah.
right, yeah. Dang. All right.
All right. After that, we have the Dune Buggy. This vehicle used to be crazy. I couldn't believe how long it was around. Like the OG Volt was patched before this was.
Yeah. Like it was impossible to handle. The acceleration was like insane. I don't I don't actually know how it performs now, I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Dune Buggy, Dune Buggy. Dune Buggy has 99 miles per hour. It's only 1 miles per hour slower than the ATV. Dang,
Eh,
it got nerfed
Damn.
like crazy. It has great
That's
launch though. Um, so it does have its merits. It's a bit harder to shoot out. I'm thinking either mediocre or bad for this one.
um I would say probably probably bad. I don't know.
I'll put it in mid, but I mean mediocre, but we could move it down. All right, after that we have the Chiron. Um, I think this is possibly a great. I think maybe I'll put it in great. Really, the only thing I don't like about it is the look. Um, and also it's a little bit more difficult to handle than the Bolide, but other than that, it's a really good vehicle.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it in great for now. After that, we
And
have
it's
the. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no no. You go, you go. I didn't have
N-
much to say.
All right. After that, we got the escape bot. Um, I'm not quite sure about this one because it's technically free, though. As you guys remember,
Yeah,
it took me like 2 months to get it, and for after all that time, I feel like it wasn't quite worth the wait, especially because you can't spawn it. Like you have to go out of your way to one of the bases. Um,
yeah. It's not I do kind of like the look of the vehicle, but that's really about it.
well, it's also like it's kind of like a better crew capsule in that it's like harder to shoot down and it has good stats as well. Um,
Yeah.
um, I think I'll put it in, since I put the crew capsule in good, I might put it lower in good, so I might move it down to mid.
I'd say that's pretty fair.
Then we have the fire truck. Not gonna lie, I think this vehicle's pretty mid. Like, the top speed is great, but the acceleration is really bad. But it does have 6 seats as well, so it's a good team vehicle. And it has a fun gimmick with the water and the ladder, but I I barely ever use this vehicle.
True. Yeah, I'd say it's probably mediocre. I was gonna say mid, but maybe mediocre. Where like the ambulances.
Yeah, I'll put above ambulance and mediocre because I think it's better. But yeah, that sounds like it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Famous Prime said, its spawn is so hidden. Like you have to go all the way to Crater City or to the airport to use it. Um,
Hmm.
Next is the Goliath. This is a weird one because I wouldn't change anything about it. Like the stats are completely appropriate for what this is. It's not meant to be really fast. It makes sense it has like slow acceleration, but unfortunately that just means I'm not going to use it. Um like there's better team
Yeah.
vehicles out there. It looks really good though. I think I don't know. I'm thinking either mid or good. Like good would just kind of
Um.
be because I like the look of it, but I really don't use it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to. I would say maybe put it in good for now because I don't know. I do like the vehicle, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like just a vehicle I wouldn't really use, I guess.
Yeah, I think we'll put it in good for now, but at the very bottom. Next, we have the
Yeah.
OG free heli. Um, I might put this in the Camaro tier. This is also one that I can't really. Actually, I don't know because I've compared it against other flying vehicles, and it's good on its own merits. Really, the only thing that I don't like about it is that it's a bit hard to access. Like you need a key card. I wouldn't change that about the vehicle. It's just something that holds me back from using it. Um,
Yeah, I would probably put it in like great because for it being free, it is actually really good,
yeah,
and it is a classic. So
I'll put in high grade. All right, after that we have the Icebreaker. This is a vehicle I really, really like. I think it looks pretty good. I love that it's a basically a roadster with more seats. Um, I think I'll put it in great.
that's fair. I don't have the icebreaker, so
Oh,
I don't know how good it is.
is that
Yeah,
like how many of these vehicles do you not have? So I guess I
I
never
th-
really wondered until now.
I think I have pretty much everything besides like Beam Hybrid, which I traded. I don't have like the Raptor and the JB8, and I think that's it. I think I have everything else.
What do you guys think of the Icebreaker? Quick comment before we head to the interrogator. Um, I will just move on. I'll see what they say later. Okay, he says it's good.
All right.
All right, next we have the Interrogator. I've never been a fan of this vehicle, to be honest. Felt like a downgrade from the Cirrus. I'm kind of sad they replaced the spawn points of the Cirrus with the Interrogator. Um, like it just doesn't have very good stats. I think it's a mediocre vehicle.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, after that we have the JB8, and Fake Leo was just saying we'd better put it in amazing. I've really come around on the JB8. You guys, if you've been watching my rankings over the years, you know that I used to not like this vehicle, but I think it's pretty good now, especially with the multiple buffs. Um, I think I'll put it good.
Yeah, I would also put it in there.
I'd put it below Beam Hybrid because I think Beam Hybrid looks better, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, after that we have the Jackrabbit. When I think of the word mid, Unfortunately, I immediately think of the Jackrabbit, so I have to put it
Yeah,
in mid tier.
that is true. I didn't really like driving the Jackrabbit, but yeah, it's pretty just mid. There's nothing
I like
else
that
to
the
say
rocket
about it.
fuel comes out of only one of, since there's only one pipe in the back, the rocket fuel only comes out of one. I like that. It's a fun little gimmick. But and this is like the Goliath where I wouldn't change anything at all about it. It's perfectly appropriate, but I can't say I use it at all.
Yeah, same.
All right, next we have the Javi. This is an amazing vehicle. It looks so good. Ed is the GOAT. It is the Torpedo, but if it was good.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, after that we have the Jeep. I think this is a really good vehicle. It's free. It's faster than the Camaro actually, and it seats 4 people. So I think this is a really good vehicle.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I would also put it in good. Or did you say good or great?
I said good,
Yeah, I'd
possibly
also put
great.
it there. I'd say good's pretty fair.
After that we have the Jet. I'm gonna put it in amazing. I love this vehicle as well. The revamp it got back in October, it's like one of the biggest glow ups of all time. Like it looks. The only thing I don't like about it is that the wheels don't retract when the jet is flying, and it really gets on my nerves whenever I see a jet flying and the wheels are out. But
Yeah, that is really true.
other than that, other than that, I think this is a really good vehicle. The missiles are crazy. Like I'm surprised they haven't been nerfed yet.
Yeah, I really like the revamp they did with the jet. I hope they keep doing like similar type revamps where they revamp more than just like the model
Uh
of
huh.
the vehicle.
I love those revamps as well.
Hmm.
103 degrees. Yeah, bro, it's we're in the midst of a real heat wave right now. Okay, next is the jet ski. This is a crazy vehicle. Like the speed is unlimited on this one. Um, I think good because it's waterlocked, but it's a great escape vehicle, and it's without question the best of the water vehicles.
Yeah, I would also put it in good.
All right, next we have the Lambo. Um, I think this is a honestly, I kind of think this is mid because, but I don't know. The spawn points, it does have a lot of spawn points, but the stats are
Yeah, that
just
is.
not very good now.
Yeah, it's been nerfed so much where it's like it doesn't have good acceleration. The top speed isn't that good either. It does
Uh
have a
huh.
lot of spawn points, but I honestly would say it's pretty mid.
Yeah, I'll put it in mid as. I guess I'll put it in mid. Um, Next we have the Leah. This is a tough one to rank. The stats are like equivalent to the Blade. Basically, it's basically a bit better than the drone. For those who are wondering how good it is, um, it's obviously
Yeah,
exclusive to one player. I think we have to put it in amazing because it actually does look good and the stats are quite good as well. But it's
it's
tough
pretty.
to judge because no one can get it.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like a spawnable blade. I'm pretty sure you could spawn it.
Yeah,
So.
spawnable. Yeah, the spawnable thing also enhances it.
Hmm.
Um, Next up is the Little Bird. I love this vehicle. It's great. It's one of the best like mid-tier vehicles. Um, like I remember back in the day, myself and a couple other people would buy the UFO just because we needed a flying vehicle that was easy to access. But once the Little Bird was added, bye bye UFO users. Like, I think this is probably amazing.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, after that we have the MCL36. I'm going to put this in amazing. For the price, it's just insane. It's crazy how good this vehicle is. Um, Also, it looks pretty good as well, and that's because like that's because like Asimo imported the model or something to Jailbreak as well. Like it's not like it was actually hand modeled by him or something. Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah,
top tier vehicle.
I agree.
After that we have the Macaron. Not gonna lie, I think this is good, but on the lower end of good. I don't know. I like the look, but the stats compared to the other Bugattis and supercars, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, true.
Then we have the McLaren. I think this is a good vehicle as well. I find it to be pretty underrated. It's one of the better looking OG vehicles, and the stats are now in a pretty good spot. It used to be like really bad, but now I think it's good.
Yeah, I got a pretty big buff a while ago, I think.
Yeah, it did in that update that like buffed a ton of vehicles. Up next,
Yeah,
the Mini Cooper. This is another vehicle that I had I have some bit of nostalgia for because I would just go to the town and use it whenever I escaped prison. But on its own merits, it has good acceleration for the price, but obviously I haven't used it at all since it was retired. So I think it's mid.
yeah, I
Some people
agree.
are
I'd
saying
also put it in
mediocre.
mid.
Um, okay, next up, the Model 3, one of the best starter vehicles, especially if you upgrade the engine. I think great.
Yeah, I think. Never mind. I forget what I was going to
Too
say.
relatable. Okay, after that we have the Molten M12, the first ever community created vehicle. Um, it has great stats. It looks really good. Um, it used to pothole all the time, but now I feel like it's better when it comes to that. Um, I'm thinking I'll put it in at the top of great.
Yeah, I'd also put it there because.
I might move it to amazing, but for now we'll just keep it in great. All right, next up, the monster truck, the ultimate troll vehicle. I think I'll put it in good. It's fun to drive around with friends. It's like more fun to use than the army heli at times because it's so bouncy. But obviously it's nothing too amazing, so I'll probably just keep it in good. Monster
Yeah.
truck is good, but mid acceleration. Yeah, I agree, Red Yoshi. After that, we have the NASCAR. This is the one that cost this is the one that costed 100,000 J-Bucks. Um, I would say this is also a good vehicle. I don't really use it, but I'm glad it exists and I like the skin design. And I would say the same thing for the other two NASCARs. I don't really have unique thoughts on any of them.
Yeah, they're pretty much just the
Actually,
same.
you know what? Maybe I'll put the free ones in great, possibly amazing because for their price, they're just insane.
That is true, yeah.
All right, next up, the Parisian. Um, Obviously, this is an amazing looking vehicle. The stats are great as well. Um, I guess, I don't know. It's like I don't quite love this vehicle. I think it's super flat, so it's easy to like pothole. The off-roading isn't that good, but other than that, I
Hmm.
think it's a really nice vehicle. I think I'll put it in amazing.
Yeah, I would also put it in amazing. I use it a lot. I don't pothole that much with it. I don't use like monster suspension, but the
Uh-huh.
off-roading is not that good. But I do really like it, so amazing.
Next up, the patrol bike. This has good acceleration, like really good launch. When someone uses the launch, it's like hard to catch them basically. But top speed isn't very good. I think I'll put it in mediocre because at least it has the launch going for it. But other than that, it's not good.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, the pickup truck. I'm gonna put this in bad. I don't really like this vehicle. There are much better options when it comes to starter vehicles. Like even the Jeep, which is free, is faster than this. Um, and I know some people like it because you can use it to get out of the museum, but you can just jetpack out or like pulling isn't that hard, guys. Come on. Um, so I'm gonna put it in bad. Up next, the Poseidon. I really like this vehicle. I think it was a really fun season prize. I think I'll put it in good or great.
Um, I unlocked it yesterday. It's not a bad vehicle. I do really like the looks of it. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the vehicle feels kind of like weird when driving. Like I feel like it's really heavy. That
Yeah, it
could just
feels a
be
bit
me,
weird.
but
It's also because it's like pretty long. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I'll put it in good because it's not the best, but I love the look of it. I'm so happy we finally have it in the game. So
yeah,
yeah, I'll
I
keep it
agree.
there. All right, after that we have the Posh. I think we should put it in mid because it was also a museum escape vehicle.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next up, the prison bus. This is a tough one to. The troll vehicles are tough to rate because like you have so much fun when you're trolling with them, but other than that, like they're not good at all, basically. I don't
Yeah.
know. The prison bus, it was just so much fun, guys. Like remember when everybody was inside and we dropped it in the volcano? Prison bus is mid, but good if you have a large army. Yeah, that's kind of true. It's conditional as well, because like if you're somebody like me who can easily get like 15 people inside it, then it's good. But if you're a normal player, then it's not going to be easy to get like 14 other people to get inside it with you. I think I'll put in mediocre because it's a lot of fun, but on its own merits, it's not good, and I'm never going to use it.
Yeah.
Up next, the Proto O8. This is a fan favorite vehicle. It looks really good. It has great stats. My only problem with it is that it potholes sometimes. Though recently I was driving it and it was actually like I didn't really encounter much potholing at all. I think I'll put it in at the top of great as well, just behind the icebreaker because I do like the icebreaker more, but the Proto O8 is a great vehicle.
Yeah, I
And
agree. There's some nitpicks. They're like very tiny nitpicks that I don't like, but other
mhm.
than that, it's a pretty good vehicle. Like it's pretty much a better roadster.
Up next, the Texas Chadmobile. This is another vehicle that I've also really come around on. It's a really fun team vehicle. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking great with this one, but I know the stats aren't anything amazing. It's just I like driving around with it. I like the look of it. It's fun to drive with my pals, my Texas Chads in this. So I don't know. I'm thinking I'll put it at the bottom of great.
That's fair.
The Texas Chads live again. All right, next up, the Rattler. I think this is a pretty cool grand prize. I appreciate how unique it is in terms of design. I love the cool effect it has when it accelerates. But the stats aren't, I would say the stats are okay, but everything else about it is pretty good. So I would put it in good.
Yeah, I agree too.
Next up, the Ray. I kid you not, like I've used this vehicle probably less than 5 times. It's the one that spawns at the airport. I mean, no, the cargo port where you turn in your money. Uh, I think it's pretty good for the price, but I don't use it very much. I would say it's mid.
Yeah, it's pretty mid. Honestly, I honestly forgot it existed.
Yeah, this is one that always slips my mind. Okay, next we have
Mhm.
another Ray, the Ray 9. This one spawns at the casino, so like it's it should be used more than it actually is, but I don't see anyone use it. Like the Ray, I actually have similar thoughts to the Ray 9 as I do with the Ray. Like, I don't know, it's has decent stats. It looks okay, but I never use it.
Yeah, same. It's kind of mid.
Yeah, and that like the top speed and acceleration, they're just not that great, but it's fine. Next up is the Roadster. I think this is an amazing vehicle. I like it a lot. Um, Obviously, it's the GOAT when it comes to acceleration. It's my most used vehicle as a cop. Um, Really, the worst thing about it is the look of it, but other than that, I think it's good. Also, it's obtainable, so I think that kind of gives it an edge over the Proto because people can actually buy it right now, but you can't get the Proto unless you trade. Yeah, and I know there's some people that say like the Roadster's overrated, like Red Yoshi. I know you're not a huge fan of it. Um, I guess for me, I just really appreciate the acceleration. It potholes and it has a horrible reverse speed. Yeah, that is true. Though I don't run into potholing as much with this one. Um, but yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think, Silent? Are you a Roadster guy?
Not really. I used to use the Roadster a lot, but I think it deserves its place in amazing. Cheap. Uh, well, it's not cheap, but it's
It's
like
not
it's worth
cheap,
it for
yeah.
its price.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Up next, the SUV. This is a vehicle I would use all the time back in the day because it was pretty tall. So like I just drive it to the fence and jump over the fence with the SUV. Um, and I used it sometimes with some friends, but other than that, I didn't use it very much when it was around, and I have not used it at all since it was retired. So I think it's mediocre because really I only used it for a purpose that doesn't relate to actually driving it.
That is true, yeah.
All right, next we have the SWAT van. This seats like 8 people. Um, it's much better now. I think for the longest time I thought the Celestial was better, but I think the SWAT van is better now because it seats more people and the stats were improved. I think I'll put it in mid because it does cost Robux and I don't really use this vehicle, but it is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad for what it is.
All right, then we have the semi truck. This is another one of those troll vehicles, like I mentioned, it's similar to the prison bus. Um, I think I'll put it in bad because unfortunately it has some really bad stats, but I had a blast using it. It was so much fun to just like it was around during the NASCAR update, right? So I would just block racetracks with it and I would toggle
Yeah.
the remember I would toggle the vehicle collisions on and off. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember that. That was so much fun. I wish you could like I wish you could put vehicles in it. They did say they were gonna add that, but it's
Yeah,
been a while
I
and they
really
never did.
wish you could have. That was one of the biggest disappointments I had. Have you ever used the heli
Mhm.
rope on the semi? I haven't done that, but I saw people doing it and it looked crazy. Next up, the Sentinel. This is a pretty good vehicle in my opinion. It's possibly the most underrated vehicle in Jailbreak. I think the stats are quite good, but like nobody at all uses it. Um, I would I would put it in good. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty good for what it. Where does it spawn? I actually
You need to be
don't know
level
where.
4 to get it, by the way. It's in the level
Oh,
4 military
that is
base.
that is true. It's in like one of the most like locked up spots. So I mean, it is pretty good though for what it is. I would say it's probably like at the bottom of good, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Next up, the Shell Classic. I really enjoyed this vehicle. Ed did a great job making it. It's a classic, of course. Um, and the stats are pretty good as well. The main thing that would hold this vehicle back is that it doesn't have a set way to get it. Like you're not like I had to spend 200K to get it, and I was one of the lucky people. Um, People have had to spend like millions, and this vehicle is just not worth that kind of money. So I think that would be the big thing holding it back. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good vehicle, and I like driving it.
Yeah, same. I would put it in probably high good
Yeah,
because I
that's a
didn't
good
use it.
choice.
Yeah, I got it in like 500K, so I was also one of the lucky ones.
Let's see, is there a way to add more pictures in the midst of doing a tier list?
I think so. I think if you scroll down, there's like an edit, or actually no, that might not be there for you. That
That
might
might.
only be there for Harold.
Oh, dang it. Harold, if you can you add the OG Volt and the Blade to your tier list? If he's even in the live chat. If he's not, then I'll just have to ping him, I guess. Anyway, next up, the Shell Mark V. Finally, Meeg got his first ever dub. It's a great vehicle in my opinion, also super underrated. You guys should use it if you're like um, new to the game. It's great. It looks awesome and it has excellent stats for the price. What do you think, Silent?
I agree. I do really like the vehicle, and Miga did a really good job at modeling it. He needs more vehicles in the game.
All right. I'll put it in great. I think it's an awesome vehicle.
Yeah, it's a good
Next up,
starter vehicle.
the Shogun. Too bad we don't have Nick here for this. Um, it's a really good vehicle. It fits the theme of season 15 perfectly. It's very enjoyable to drive. Um, I think I'll put it in great. I really like this one. I love that it has its own custom skin.
Yeah, I really like how they like put in a lot of effort, like making a custom engine, having like the flame effects.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would say it's also great.
All right. Next up, the Sloop. Sorry guys, this has to go in garbage. For the price, obviously it's not good and it's waterlocked, so there you go. The memes were top tier, but other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah,
And then we have the Snake. I absolutely love this vehicle. I can't even fully articulate why. I just think it looks really good for starters, and it's just fun to drive. It has really good handling. The acceleration is like actually pretty good. The top speed obviously is probably the biggest weak point when it comes to this car, but it doesn't bother me that much because even with like the Bolide, I don't get past 200. I only get past like 220 miles per hour every now and then. I don't know. I just really like the Snake. It's one of my favorite vehicles.
yeah, I agree. It's also one of my favorite vehicles.
Then we got the Stallion. This is like one of my least used vehicles. Back in the day, it was super hard to find people using it. I still see some people drive it, but I don't know. I don't think it's very good. I would say it's mid.
Yeah, I wish she got like a redesign, but I don't know if that would happen knowing the
Yeah,
situation with Ferrari.
it's about time that the cars from like 2020 to mid 2021 got revamped, in my opinion.
Hmm.
All right, after that we have the Mustang, and 45 at 67 is gonna kill me for this, but I'm gonna put it in mediocre. It was decent for like it was a decent vehicle to like get to because it was at the gun shop, but after it was retired, I don't use it at all, basically.
Yeah, same.
Up next, the Stunt Plane. This used to be a terrible vehicle, but now it's quite good. In fact, it's kind of OP because you can't shoot it down. I'm gonna put it in great, especially because for the price of like 200K, it's really good.
It went from like pretty much the worst vehicle to like a vehicle like that could be used. A lot of people don't use it, but
Yeah,
pretty
it's one of the most
underrated.
forgotten, but dude,
Yeah,
actually, I think behind the OG Volt to the new Volt, I think the Stunt got the biggest glow up in Jailbreak. Like it used to be bottom tier, but now it's actually quite good.
yeah, I agree.
Then we have the Surus. Um, Unfortunately, it got a bit of a nerf recently, but it's still pretty good. It has good acceleration and it seats 4 people. I also think it's pretty underrated. I would say it's good.
Yeah, I would also put it in good.
When was the last time you guys saw a Surus?
Probably like I don't even know, honestly. It's been so long.
Dude, I don't think I've seen one at all this year, and I might not have seen any at all last year.
Yeah, same. Like it's so like where does it spawn? Does it spawn? I don't know where it
It only
spawns.
spawns at the prison.
At the prison. Yeah, I haven't seen a Surus at all in like a
Dang,
year or two.
Famous Prime saw it yesterday. I guess we're wrong.
Dang.
It's not underrated after all.
Hmm. Yeah.
Next up, the tank. This is, you know what? I think this is the best out of the trolling vehicles, especially because it has actually like really good acceleration, which is weird. It's actually uncharacteristic for this vehicle, but I had a blast
It's-
using it. I wasted so much money back when they first added it, like just killing people at the museum, for example. Uh, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. Um, but obviously, stats wise, it's not good. Looks wise, it doesn't look good at all. I want them to remodel it with one of Rally Subby's tanks.
yeah, they said they were going to do that, but like they never did. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully they do it someday.
Like I would have thought they would have done it during season 12 because they revamped the jet and the Blackhawk.
Uh
And
huh.
Asima also said something about revamping or adding one of Rally's tanks to replace the current tank, but I don't know, they never did it.
After that, we have the Tiny Toy. This is a pretty fun vehicle, but the top speed obviously isn't very good. The acceleration is crazy though. I think I'll put it in good.
Yeah, it's a
Below,
really
right below the Bloxy, because I do like the Bloxy more than this.
it's a good maneuver vehicle, or like just to get through like tight spaces through the city.
Yeah, fun but impractical for gameplay. Yeah, I agree, Red Yoshi. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't even fully agree with that because, like you said, pit maneuvering is excellent. Here,
Mhm.
I'll put the three more interesting ones at the bottom. Um, Next up, the tow truck. This is another trolling vehicle. Though this one actually does have some use because, like, if you want to get rid of some criminal vehicles but you don't have a helicopter, you can just use this. I would say it's mid.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know, no one else really, or I mean, nobody really uses it other than for like the the towing feature.
Do you remember in the trading hub, like a month ago, we were making a big chain of tow
Oh,
trucks and trying to cross
yeah,
the
I
bridge?
remember that.
That
That
was so much fun.
was yeah,
Harold,
that
you're in
was
the
really
chat.
fun.
Harold, can you add the OG Volt and the Blade to the tier list, or is it too late?
Hope you can.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh man, I hope I don't have to refresh. That would suck.
It's I think it's saved. Actually, I don't know if it saves. I think it does save.
Hold up, let me try
Harold.
something.
Oh, Harold said he can do it. All right.
Yeah, it
Oh,
does save.
never
Okay,
mind.
that's good.
He said he could do it, but just not now.
Just not now, Harold. We don't have much time. Look, we're almost done. We only have 6 vehicles left. Dang it! Alright, anyway, next up we have the Trailblazer. It looks really good in my opinion. I love that the back is like ripped straight from the tumbler. Um,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I don't use it because it's too bouncy for my liking, but it has good stats. I just don't think it's fully worth the 1 million J-Bucks.
Yeah, I agree. Better vehicles to buy. It's like the one of the $1 million vehicles you'd buy later on.
Alright, I'll put it in good.
I'd also put
Next
it in
up,
good.
the UFO. I think this is a bad vehicle. It has a really bad spawn point. The stats aren't good, especially compared to like the Little Bird, which costs like way less than the UFO, but it's faster and it has a better spawn point. Um, the
Yeah,
UFO, it looks pretty good, but that's all I can say about it.
yeah, it's just bad.
Next up, the Volt 4x4. This is what saved Season 3 from being possibly the worst season. I really like the look of it. Uh, I I haven't been using it much recently. If I did this tier list like a year ago, I might have put it in amazing, but now I think I don't know, because the acceleration does drop. It does hold this vehicle back a bit, and it's also kind of clunky to use because it's really big. But I do like it, and the launch got improved. So I think good or great. What do you think?
I would put it in. I would put it in maybe high good. I don't think it's great, but I don't mind the vehicle. I think it's a pretty good vehicle.
Yeah, I'll put it in high good. Next up, the Torero. This is a really good looking vehicle. It's very good as well when it comes to, oh, excuse me, when it comes to stats. Obviously it's not crazy, but it has a good top speed. It has really good acceleration and launch. It looks really good. There's just one problem though, guys. There's only one problem. My legs stick out of the bottom. It's so frustrating. I hate that so much. I don't know why. It's just so annoying. I want them to like raise the seat of your like raise how eh, it's hard to explain, but like kind of raise the seat a little bit so that your avatar like I would prefer if the head was sticking out of the top of the vehicle more than the legs sticking out of the bottom. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because I mean, most of the time your head does stick out of the vehicle anyway.
yeah, it's a pretty big design flaw in my opinion, but other than that, really, like if the legs didn't stick out, I would have put it in amazing. But since the legs do stick out, have to put it in great. But it is high grade. It is a very good vehicle. Ah, but the legs, man.
Uh, Nick would kill you if he was here.
Maybe I should have done the Shogun after this to earn his goodwill again.
That is true. Yeah,
Next up, I guess for our penultimate vehicle here, we have the Torpedo. Unlike the Chiron, I feel like the stats are better. Like it has great acceleration. The top speed is obviously fantastic as well. There's just one problem though. It looks really bad. It's one of the worst looking vehicles in the game. I've always really disliked it, even by the standards of the time. Like it didn't help that this vehicle came out in the same season as the Batmobile, which I think is a really good looking vehicle, especially for the time. But that would be the biggest thing that holds it back. But other than that, it's a great vehicle. I think either good or great.
yeah. I don't know because I would put it maybe low grade because the design really holds it back for me. But other than that, it's a pretty good vehicle in terms of acceleration stats and maybe even handling.
I never thought I'd say this, but the Stunt Plane is better than Torpedo. Like, I can't imagine saying that. Like, imagine going back in time telling me in like 2021, Stunt Plane's better than the Torpedo. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the Volt Bike, I want you guys to close your eyes and pretend that Harold actually did his job and updated the tier list before we finished the live stream. Imagine that he added the Blade and the OG Volt Bike. Now pretend their image is on the Volt Bike here, so that way you can visualize it when I click and drag. So
Oh,
first up we have the Blade. This was an awesome vehicle. I loved the look of it. The stats were great. Really, the only problem with it was that it had no rope. Um, but other than that, it was
mhm.
beautiful. It
So
was
much better than
beautiful.
a drone.
I was literally shaking and crying for 3 months. Anytime someone mentions the Blade nowadays, I get a tear in my eye because it was just
It
taken
was
from
so
us
good.
too soon. Oh
Yeah,
dang it! Now I'm gonna cry again. But yeah, we're gonna put it in amazing. So good.
yeah.
Okay, next, imagine that we have the OG Volt Bike. This goes in garbage. It is the worst of the worst. It was an utter abomination when it came to Jailbreak. The only good thing about it was the look. It absolutely wrecked the game. What was horrible about this vehicle was that it was terrible without a glitch, and with a glitch, it was so overpowered that it made the game far less enjoyable to play. You know what? I think I'm gonna make its own tier
Yeah, I
because
was gonna say make its own tier.
because like that way at least it's easier to visualize. We're gonna put it in black because it actively blackened my heart when this vehicle was in game. Let's see, we're gonna put
Literally,
OG Volt Bike. So pretend Harold included the OG Volt Bike here. We would have put it in this spot down here. So I guess I'll also make one for the Blade. Add a row above. No, wait. Here. Blade. Yeah, so we would have put Blade here. We would have put OG Volt Bike here. Yeah. I guess the final one we have is the current Volt Bike. I absolutely love this vehicle. I'm gonna put it in amazing. It has top tier acceleration. It's hard to pop this one's tires, obviously, and I'm glad they balanced that by making it like when you pop it, then it stays like you can't use it for another 20 seconds, basically.
hmm it stays popped longer than pretty much every other vehicle.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty much the biggest glow up in Jailbreak.
exactly, absolutely. So let's go through the list one more time. First we have the Camaro, a classic. Then we have the Blade, beautiful vehicle taken from us too soon. Then in Amazing we have all these vehicles. Um, they all seem like they fit. I wouldn't move any of them down. Next up we have Rates. Um, I would
I'm
say
looking.
John above these ones. Hmm. I
I'm
kind
not
of want to
really.
move the Molten up. I can't remember if I ranked the Molten above the Parisian. Um,
I don't remember either.
I think I'll put Molten in Amazing because it has really good stats and it looks really good as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, and then we have Good. I think everything looks good when it comes to this tier. Um, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say any of these, I would not say any of these vehicles are great, but I don't think that any of them are mid.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything is pretty deserved in its place.
Alright, and then we have mid with the Badger, Posh, basically the museum vehicles and the escape vehicles. I think mid is a good tier for escape vehicles where like they have one purpose, but other than that, like you're never gonna use them.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we
Yeah.
have mediocre. this also feels appropriate to me. Um, fire truck and ambulance definitely belong here. Um, all these ones as well, yeah. And then bad, yeah, I'm happy with that. Garbage, I'm happy with that. An OG Volt bike at the pit of hell as it belongs. What do you think, Silent? Any objections, or is this
I
good
think
enough?
I think everything's good from what I've seen. I wouldn't change anything.
All right, chat. You guys have anything else to say before we wrap up? And by the way, big shout out again to Harold for making this tier list for us. He saved us a lot of time. I would have had to go through and take pictures of every vehicle. Very happy and grateful he did that. Um, Also, thank you, Silent, for joining me. Really appreciate it whenever you join me for these live streams. I'm
No
sad
problem. We
no
had a lot of fun ranking these.
I'm sad Nick and Harold weren't actually able to be here with us in the voice chat, but it's fine.
Yeah,
We still did a
it's
good job, you and I. And of
yeah, it was
course,
still fun.
yeah. And of course, thanks to you guys for watching this video slash live stream. I'm gonna try to put time codes in the description because I want people to watch this after it was streamed anyway. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. And oh yeah, real quick. Actually, I want to do something real quick. Um, I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think of the season system revamp? I want to get your quick thoughts on this. And Silent, you can also feel free to talk about what you think of the season system revamp.
All right, I think it's much better. I don't like the UI, but I think they'll probably be changed. But like everything else is much better. Where you can, it's basically a mix of the OG system and the new system with like how you could basically get XP by playing the game, but there's also the contracts if you want to speed up your progress. I think they did a really good job at revamping the seasons. And I also like how there's like additional prizes like money,
Yeah, I'm
save.
so happy they did that. And they didn't make, because before, one of the big things I didn't like about some previous seasons was that like they had prizes instead of cosmetics, but I'm glad that they're their own thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Um
very happy with this. I'm so glad they finally gave seasons a shaking up. Obviously, time will tell how well this revamp turns out in game, because I'm sure it'll take a lot of tweaking, and we won't be immediately satisfied. But this is a huge step in the right direction. And I don't know if you guys remember, but like 6 months ago, I made a video discussing season flaws. It was one of my favorite videos. I'm happy to say that a lot of the issues I raised here, it seems like they've been dealt with. Like, and a lot of my suggestions as well, like they kind of corresponded with some stuff that they ended up doing. So I'm very happy with the season revamp from the looks of it. And yeah, I was kind of thinking I won't play after this season, but honestly, I feel like I still want to. I'm still interested in Jailbreak. I still want to play season 17, so I'm probably still going to do it. I might not live stream as much, and I won't be making videos as much, but I think I'll still be covering it to some extent. But this is some of the
yeah,
this immediately is one of the possibly the best update of the year just based on this news alone. I'm so happy we finally have it.
I know it was such a so much of a pain to just do contracts. Like I'm so glad they're changing it. It's unbelievable. It's
I
like
think Onett
I
died. Some I don't know why he's talking about Beast Wars me later.
Yeah, I
Yeah, what
didn't
were you
think
saying?
they would like. Oh, I was gonna say I didn't think they'd revamp the seasons, like at least to this extent. I thought they would have like maybe done something how they did with like adding rerolls because it seemed like they'd
Yeah.
say something about that. But
hmm
also, Simo said that they wouldn't touch like seasons until like later. So I'm surprised they did a
Yeah,
revamp,
I
but I'm really
agree.
glad they did.
hmm But yeah, very excited for this. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day or night, and stay safe. It's hot up there.
Yeah. See ya.